All right, we're trying something new. That actually totally just worked. I wasn't planning that. We've been doing like build series videos, and I think the issue with those for us is they take a lot of time, and Brian never comes down to the shop to film. So what we're gonna try doing is we're gonna try just doing like, I don't wanna commit to bi-weekly, but that's what we're gonna try to do. So rather than bringing you like, hey, this is Brian's Square Body episode 1, we're just gonna show you this and everything else in the shop. So that way, hopefully once or twice, hopefully twice a month, we can show you what's going on around here. So let's start with Brian's crew cab, square body, dually, Cummins compound turbo powered truck, diesel thing. Power plant for this goes here. It's not here. It's missing. But it's a 12 valve Cummins that Jason over at Big Ten Garage helped put together for us. We've got it out right now because it's at All American Billet and they're making a pulley setup. The AC was down right into the frame rail. No way it was ever gonna fit. So we're making a pulley setup that moves some stuff around, plus it'll look nice with all the other billet parts on there. We took the turbos off, so this is a compound turbo setup. Basically, that's your normal size turbo, and that goes first, and then you have your gargantuan size turbo, which is like literally off of a tractor or a semi-truck. So once we get the engine back in, we can show you that. We got the transmission here that somebody decided to spray paint with like chrome spray paint. I don't know why anyone would do that, but they did. This is an Allison A1000 converted to 6-speed. It's massive. It'll handle all the torque of the compound diesel though. Compound turbo diesel. Most of our work so far has been focused on the bed. So obviously the first thing you can see is the fenders. I didn't want the fenders any wider. A lot of these trucks, they go wider instead of narrowing the axle. We narrowed the axle, and then we cut up these fenders, moved them up, reattached them, and then Steve, that normally does our interiors, came over and started the fiberglass, and then we just trimmed them real rough, but this is obviously real rough. It'll get dialed in. A couple more coats of glass on the inside, and then we can start sanding it down and bodyworking it. But the bed on the inside is gonna be kind of cool. We have 2 gas tanks going in, so kind of like factory saddle tanks. Obviously we built them. We've got, I think just shy of 40 gallons on the driver's side. So this one's big, comes all the way back to about here, and it goes all the way under the cab. The passenger side we left short. So it's, I think it's right around 20, somewhere in there, maybe a little under 20 gallons. But we left it short so we can put the batteries behind it. So we got 2 batteries over there mounted. Both gas tanks are mounted. They're not in right now, they're actually behind you. Vire compressors are mounted underneath here, and an AccuAir 3-gallon Endo VT tank is mounted under here. And then we have a 5-gallon just Endo tank back here, just for more air storage. We've kind of started molding all this stuff in. So this will be a lid, and we'll actually have a toolbox here. So you have 2 gas fills, breathers for the gas tanks. On the other side, in that little pocket, we're gonna have charge ports and a little, like for the batteries, and then a little air chuck, so you could remote fill, that type of thing. And we built a trunk out of the stock bed floor. So this will open up and you'll be able to dump stuff in there, or you can drop the tailgate and dump your stuff under there. It'll fit chairs, tools, jack, whatever you need. Straps and all that kind of stuff will go up there. We have capability for a gooseneck with this chassis. So this thing drops. It's so far. It goes in there, somewhere like that, but I can't reach it. And then we also cut off the back of the chassis and built our own hitch back here. It'll hide behind the license plate, stays up nice and tight, incorporated the bumper mounts, everything into it. So hopefully we'll bring you some more progress on this in a couple weeks. But actually the bed is gonna come off as soon as we get the Dakota Digital actuators in to lift this up. We'll glue the cover piece sheet metal, which is over there somewhere. We'll glue that on over the weekend, and then this thing's gonna come off the truck and go to Frank on Tuesday. So next we have Marlins. This just came from Premier Street Rod. The body came from Premier Street Rod, so I went and got that last week. The chassis is all GSI. Received kind of the high test treatment, so it's got a bunch of hard lines on it. Marlin put the engine and transmission in it himself. Chassis came from Lake Charles, Louisiana. I went and picked up the body in Havasu, and we kind of just threw it together so it's condensed, making less mess, taking up less space. We're a little bit away from getting on this, but we are going to build the Marquet bed and get that on, and just, again, to just take up less space around the shop. And then one of the ones we're going to get into here real quick is Rob Lane's square body. This is another GSI airbag chassis, LT4. I think we already talked about this in the last video, so this one's coming soon. We'll probably get that over as soon as we're done with the bed on Brian's. This is Trask's truck, just came in for something real quick. It was actually only here for a couple hours yesterday, and it's leaving this morning. We're already done with it. Converted manual steering to power steering, and put a new pulley setup on it, so serpentine setup. So AC, power steering, bigger alternator, nicer water pump, yada yada. That's all we've done to this. We try not to do this kind of stuff too often, but you know, when you're a good customer and got a little project, we'll help you out. We are not going to talk about this too much because it's Frank's. We don't want to talk about Frank too much over here because Mom always said, don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But Hector's building some inner fender wells for that, and then we're going to change over the air setup to AccuAir, and Frank's in the middle of painting it. So don't look too closely. John Vaughn's truck. This last video that we did an update, this was in the other shop and all the way up on the lift, and it didn't have a bed on it. So we've gotten started on the bed. We just started basically the quick framework. We got to get wheel tubs or build wheel tubs. I'm not sure what we're going to do. And then we'll finish framing this out, get it opening, and then it'll show off the GSI chassis with all the powder coat and everything that's on it, which is why everything is wrapped up like crazy, because this is not the way we like to build trucks, but this is the way it came to us. So we'll work around the powder coat and keep it all plasticed up and try not to damage anything. And this truck should be really cool when it's done too. And Kevin's here. I think in the last video you couldn't see this because it was up on the lift, but we've got a set of Hart Fab tubs. This is another Don Hardy engine. This will run Holley electronics because of the valve, or because of the air cleaner there. It's not a normal GM electronics. But this one should be making some good progress here real soon. This is a 62 GMC, so the dash is a little different than the Chevy. 62 or 63 maybe. Maybe it's a 63, I don't know. But they have the wraparound windshield, whereas the 64, 66 doesn't. Something you're not used to seeing from us is Olin's little rat rod project. I think that engine's out of a motorhome. That's all I know about it. His buddy Joe up in Wisconsin likes to scrap motorhomes for some reason and pull the engines out. So he wants me to help him with the rear suspension on it, but he's kind of doing most of the stuff himself. Olin likes weird things like rat rods. I don't get it, but whatever. This is the chassis that came out from underneath Wendell's OBS. The bed for Wendell's OBS is right there. The cab and a bunch of other parts are over at Frank's. They've already been primed once, so we're going for final prime over there. So we'll have the cab final primed by the time we get the chassis. Chassis is a little bit delayed, but so is everything in the world. So, but Preston Rulery out in Havasu bought this chassis. He bought an engine and transmission from us as well. I threw my old Suburban wheels on it so we can roll this onto his trailer whenever he gets here to pick it up. So we're not really doing anything else to that. Just kind of sitting here waiting for him to pick it up. Pyle's golf cart up there. This is the kind of stuff we do around here. This golf cart, which everybody's seen, has a 3-cylinder diesel with a compound turbo setup, but you know, they're just trying to fit a small block in the back too, just for fun. Anyway, 56 F100 up top, Gen 3 Coyote, 10-speed. We did all the exhaust. We replumbed the fuel system, rewired the whole truck front to back, did the brakes, and then they bought this truck at Barrett Jackson in like 2015 or something, so we just put new tires on it, making sure everything looks good underneath. Then it's going to interior, we can put some miles on it. And then Shannon's truck, which by the timing of this video, you probably just watched the wrap-up video. If the guy behind the camera did his job and got it got it updated, or whatever you want to call it, got it edited and uploaded. But look for a full video on that. Look for a lot more projects coming in soon. 2 big projects over there that we haven't really even started on, the square body and Marlin's truck. We have Vaughn's truck here. We have Derek's and David's over at iCandy, which is 55 C10 on coilover and 57 on airbags. We're gonna try and wrap those up here real soon. So you're gonna see those quickly, but that's it. Short, sweet, to the point, but it shows you everything. Everybody's asking for more videos. So we're gonna try this out. Again, comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Do the thumbs up stuff. I think my breakfast is here. I'm gonna go eat. See ya.